codes verified. Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.
On Twitch?
Jamal, everyone's saying we've been doing interpretive dances.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. Hello, Captain.
That's why I just asked.
This whole time. That's great. Oh, I didn't hear. Wait, what? Okay. Well, hi everyone, and welcome to the live broadcast recording.
You didn't miss anything.
You didn't miss anything.
Didn't miss anything. I guarantee it.
No, we didn't.
No,
we
talked about weather and food. That's literally all we've been talking about. So you guys did not miss anything at all. That's it.
Thanks for telling us.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. For those
the same thing happened last week on the other show too.
Oh, yeah?
We did the entire intro segment without sound to Twitch. Something weird's going on.
No, I just forgot to click a button. That was my fault.
Oh, okay. Or I forgot to click a button.
It would have been great if we made it to closing and then somebody tells us.
Yeah.
Well, speaking
Do
of
it
weather,
again.
Now that we're live and everybody can hear us, we hope that if you're on the eastern seaboard, that you are safe and that the impact of the tropical storm or hurricane didn't impact you greatly, and that you're safe and sound. So, beyond that, stock up on your MREs and get survival tools. That's it. That's what we were talking about. That's all we said.
Because you never know when you're going to be without power for a couple days.
You never know.
It's good to have that stuff in your house.
All right. Why don't we do a show? Okay.
That's what I showed up for.
I'm going to hit the big red button in 3, 2, 1. This is Elio Intro Sync 1.
This is Cat Intro Sync 2.
This is Tony Intro Sync 3.
This is Skiffy Intro Sync 4. Jamal Taylor, but the groping motions.
Intro in 3.
There was no such thing.
This week on episode 472 of Priority 1, we trek out what Viacom CBS has in store for streaming. Lower Decks future, or past, T-shirt subscriptions, Stormtroopers, and the King of Pop. In Star Trek gaming, the game's afoot with Sansar's Roddenberry Museum Scavenger Hunt. Also, get your tabletop action on with an awesome Humble Bundle, and Timelines has an update for its mobile game. Hello, Captains. You're listening to episode 472 of Priority 1, a Roddenberry Star Trek podcast. Your weekly recap and review of all the major news happening in the Star Trek multiverse. This episode was recorded live on Tuesday, August 4th, 2020, and available for download or streaming on Friday, August 7th at PriorityOnePodcast.com. I'm Elio.
I'm Kat.
And I'm Tony.
And in our audio booth is our chief audio engineer, Skiffy.
Hello, guys. And gals.
Hello.
And non-binary. If you're going to do it, you're going to be like, and non-binary. You have to be inclusive.
That's fair. Hello, all.
There we go.
Kapla, everyone.
Kapla, everyone.
Joel True.
Captains, each week between episodes, we love to engage in conversations with you, our listeners, on places like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So if you aren't already following us on any of those, be sure to look us up. There we post things like community questions, special announcements, and more. Just search for Priority One Podcast on your favorite social media app and you'll find us. Or email us. You can reach us at incoming@PriorityOnePodcast.com.
Captains, engaging with you is an absolute privilege and one of the reasons we love doing this production. Unfortunately, producing the show to the quality you've come to expect each and every week is not an inexpensive endeavor, but we have ways that you can help. For instance, if you find value in the content that we provide, then we encourage you to check out the bonus content that is exclusive to our patrons over at patreon.com/PriorityOne. And to our existing patrons, please log in and check your messages. I just sent out a mass message to everyone asking them to update their mailing information because we want to send you a little thank you gift for your ongoing support, especially during these incredibly difficult times.
Oh, that's nice. Or if financial support isn't in the cards, don't forget about sharing our show to all your friends. Hit that like, retweet, and or share button when you come across one of our posts, or perhaps you'd like to join the team.
Skippy.
Line.
I have a line?
You have a line.
I was chatting in chat. We're looking for new volunteers to join the production. Specifically, we're looking for audio and video editors. For more information, visit PriorityOnePodcast.com or email us. The address is incoming@PriorityOnePodcast.com.
Now let's check out the latest news from the Star Trek multiverse. Everybody hit stamp.
Sorry about that. I was chatting in chat. They're saying, a couple of people are saying that we might have a sync issue.
A sync
I'm in
issue?
charge of the oven, so don't look at me.
Haha!
I wouldn't be surprised if it's internet related more than anything else.
If it's me that's out of sync, that is anticipated because I'm doing some weird things with audio. I expect my audio is following video by about 15 milliseconds.
This is actually going to be a short show this week because we didn't have feedback. What's up, folks? How come you don't write to us during the week? You only show up on Tuesday night. How come you don't keep in touch, guys? Come on, I've been texting you, I've been emailing you, I've been talking to you on social media.
How come you never call me back?
You don't ever call us back, listeners. Come on, guys.
I'm gonna try to do a needy girlfriend-boyfriend voice here, but I don't think I'm gonna pull it off.
Just don't. Just stop. Just
Hey! I think I'm gonna hurt something.
You might pull something, yeah.
Yeah,
Watch out.
it's not.
What's everybody drinking tonight?
Wine.
Wine.
Tea, Lipton, iced.
The store has finally restocked the diet cream soda Dr. Pepper, which I highly recommend.
Ah.
Jameson aged in stout barrels.
Yeah, I gotta be stone cold sober doing this show. Cause all these hooligans around here, they need corralling.
Somebody's got to hold the show together.
On the other hand, I don't have any excuses. That's maybe I should reconsider this.
I have a new monitor, Jamal. Oh, you know what else? I took a certification online, and I had to like move. I had to do. It was weird. It was a CompTIA certification. I had to move everything, and Skippy don't.
You had to
ask me how I did.
move stuff for your
Yeah,
certification?
'cause you have to like show them that you're not cheating. Like it's crazy. You have to like take pictures of the front, the back, from above. It was nuts. And then I have a widescreen monitor now, so the interface that they use to kind of take over your computer so that you don't switch windows and look up an answer, it does not scale. So I was like this half the time. And so at one point,
this dude's totally cheating. Look at him.
Yeah. And at one point, the proctor was like, "Can you move your camera? It's hard to see you when you're like that." I was like, "Sorry, I have a big monitor and your crap sucks."
Did you? Are we allowed to
talk
ask
about
the
it.
results?
No.
Did
So
you get
there's
your
your
standing
answer.
desk?
Not yet. I'm getting that mid-August.
Mid-August. Okay.
But I got
That's
an
like
arm.
soon.
I know. It's supposed to ship on the 18th or something like that. So hopefully
That's
I'll still be here. Oh shit.
Jay
I'm
Farnsworth
not
says if you
here.
passed, you cheated.
I did not pass. Darn you, Farnsworth. All right. Shall we do check it out?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to hit the big red button in 3, 2, 1. This is Elio. Trek it out. Sync 1.
This is Cat. Sync. What are we doing? Wait. This
Trek
is
it out.
Get
Cat.
out.
Check it out. Sync 2.
We knew what you meant. This is
Same.
Tony doing that same segment with the sync after cat. That's where I'm at.
This is Skivvy. Check it out. Sync 4.
Okay. Trek it out in 3, 2. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Or that which we call a recently re-merged corporation's over-the-top subscription service by any other name would deliver as enjoyable an entertainment experience at a comparable price point? All right,
That does
so
not roll off the tongue.
it does not, and it doesn't entirely work, and the iambic pentameter was thrown out the wind, but and the iambic pentameter was thrown to the wind, but you know what? As segues go, Jake did a pretty decent job. For our first story. You see, on Wednesday, July 29th, Viacom CBS revealed more about their upcoming CBS All Access revamp. And in the process, added 70 shows, that's over 3,000 episodes, to All Access's expanding catalog. President CEO of Viacom CBS Digital and Viacom CBS's Chief Digital Officer, Mark DeBevois, said of the move, quote, "It's the first big step to transform All Access into the super service we've been talking about," end quote. Included in the addition are titles from BET, Comedy Central, MTV, Nickelodeon, the Smithsonian Channel, VH1, and TV Land. And Paramount Pictures threw in a few movies for good measure. Along with the title rollout, CBS All Access's user interface got an upgrade. And we learned a little bit more about Viacom CBS's strategy for the service. On exclusivity and distribution, DeBevois told you see, I had it good the first like 3 times I said it.
You did. I'm just glad you didn't make me read this, because in 2017, our blooper show was comprised mainly of me trying to pronounce that name.
On exclusivity and distribution, DeBevois told Viacom CBS Newsroom, quote, A lot of our competitors are being carried on one platform and not on another. We're effectively across all the major platforms already. We are everywhere. We have millions of subscribers. We have a service with high engagement, end quote. Translation: they're more than happy to let you watch Star Trek elsewhere as long as they're getting paid. So, now on to the important stuff. What's this going to cost? Well, as of right now, DeBevois doesn't expect an increase with the rebranding rollout, which is due to hit sometime in 2021. It's vague, but the news is welcoming nonetheless.
Shushing us?
So that was my son. I was shushing my son.
Oh yeah, I thought you were trying to.
You were just like, is he shushing me?
So I saw some blue squiggles start to appear on my Audacity, and I looked over at my son, who happened to be looking at me because I think he knew he was being a little loud. I went like this, and then I looked over and it was fine. Everything was good.
We're so used to Elio, like wrap it up.
Yeah. I myself, I'm looking forward to, the entire back catalog of VH1 pop music. So, pop-up video, whatever that thing was. I'm making stuff up. Now, I don't care. I just think that it's interesting that their strategy is, we'll let you watch all of our stuff on everybody else, and then we're going to expect you to come back here for the original content. I think that's what they're after. Like, their whole back catalog is going to be available to everybody everywhere. But if you want the new stuff, you got to subscribe to All Access.
Well, yes, you have to subscribe to All Access, but I think he's talking more about having CBS All Access on platforms like Amazon Prime, where you can add on that subscription, or you can get CBS All Access on Plex or Android or whatnot. I think those are the platforms he's talking about. But you bring up a good point, right? For any of the new content, which, mind you, is not a lot. Like, they're throwing out these big numbers and all these major channels like BET, Comedy Central, and 3,500 episodes of programming. But some of those shows have like 25 seasons and of reality television. Like it's not new content. So I don't see how they are approaching this or looking at this or even trying to spin this as something innovative or groundbreaking, when in reality all they're doing is making their back catalog available on CBS All Access without providing a substantial amount of new original content.
They don't need to. I mean, remember, the draw for these subscription services is the new stuff. That's what gets people to sign up. What gets people to not leave is having a catalog of stuff for filler in the meantime. So you go watch the new thing, and then on the suggested dealies, they say, you might like this show too. And you're like, oh yeah, I used to like that show. And so you hit the watch list, and you can watch a rerun of your favorite season of VH1 pop-up video. I mean, that's the idea.
Well, too, in that article, there was another quote about churn. So I think they want to just maintain the subscriptions and like build on those. What happened after Picard was over and everyone canceled their subscription because there was nothing new to watch.
Yeah.
So now they want just people to just keep your subscription. Now we can forecast our financials and you know, that's where they'll fund all the original programming if they're even going to do that.
Yep. Come for the Star Trek, stay for the Rugrats.
They're trying their best to claw away at the market share just like everybody else. NBC's trying it with Peacock now too. It's
Peacock.
I give all of these guys.
Yeah, you knew everyone was going to try and do their own, and in the end, people will just migrate to a couple of services, and everything else will go away.
Well, more than that, I think in about 2 to 3 years, half of these guys won't exist anymore, and it'll be back to the core players. I think Disney Plus is around to stay for what should be very obvious reasons because it's Disney. I think Netflix and maybe even Hulu is around to stay for a while, and some of these other guys. Amazon's around because they include it with your Prime subscription, so there's no additional cost.
Consumer Reports did an article titled "How to Replace Cable TV for Only $25 a Month," and it's a pretty interesting article. But one of the recurring things that I saw, especially in this article, was when talking about CBS All Access, the one thing that they kept saying over and over about like a lore to the platform is Star Trek. Right? And I mean, from a grand scheme of things, I think that's a problem, right? Because I don't know about you guys, but I canceled my CBS All Access subscription when Picard ended, right? And now...
Did you try watching some of their other original shows?
Twilight Zone. I did watch Twilight Zone, which is good. But again, it's like it's one or two of these big title programs. And then, yeah, you've got things like the NFL, and you've got sports. That kind of helps a little bit. But I'm not a sports person personally. So is Star Trek, Twilight Zone, and NFL games really the only draw to having and maintaining a subscription to CBS All Access?
Doesn't CBS do like NCIS and like those massively popular shows that your parents watch every week? You know?
But that's all back catalog stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's even new seasons of that.
Yeah.
They have the Good Wife spinoff, which is exclusive to All Access. I can't even remember the name of it.
The Good Fight.
Thank you. The Good Fight.
With Christine Baranski? Is that
right?
That's a good show.
I don't know anybody that watches it.
My mom does.
Right.
Your mom does.
I've watched the first couple episodes. It's good if you like
the
lawyer
original
shows.
Or on CBS All Access, the spinoff?
On CBS
The
All
spinoff.
Access.
Okay.
Yeah.
My mom has no idea how to even subscribe to CBS All Access.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I had to set it up, but...
Right, see? It's the same thing with my mom's Netflix subscription. I mean, we're going to, those of us in our age and younger are going to enable the older generation to not have cable anymore. My mom canceled both. She had cable at some point. She had DirecTV at some point. Those are both gone. And she's got Netflix on her iPad now. We've cut her cord. And that's what all this is aiming for, so that all the reruns you used to catch, and you could watch in the middle of the day on TBS or whatever, the Law and Order marathons, all that stuff's going away. It'll live on Peacock for Law and Order, and for on CBS All Access, their entire back catalog of soap operas and everything else that they've had. It's the draw will be the new programming, the Star Trek and the Good Fight. The will keep you there is the back catalog. And I think, reading between the lines, they're saying we don't mind sharing our back catalog with even Netflix and Hulu and those guys, because that's not what draws people in. If you guys want to use that to reduce your churn, that's fine. Pay us licensing fees, and you can pay us your maintenance fees. We're taking a share of your maintenance. We're going to draw people with our new programming, and they'll stay with us because we have the same back catalog you do. Our services are equivalent on the back catalog side.
It's funny you
Star Trek's the difference between us.
It's funny you mentioned that because De Beauvoir did another interview with Decider, and one thing that Decider had spoken about with him was exactly about that, about them being on things like Amazon Prime and Plex and whatever. And one of the quotes from the article says, Viacom CBS is not asking distribution partners to change their business plans and expects to continue to be available after the relaunch on all platforms where it is currently available, including Roku, Amazon, and Amazon Fire TV. So what I'm hearing is, hey guys, we're going to have all this new stuff, don't you change our agreement to keep using CBS All Access. Don't charge us more.
Well, Roku and Amazon Fire are devices on which you can. Are they actually talking about the ecosystems, or are they talking about
I
the
think
playback
they're talking
devices?
about the ecosystems. I think they're
Okay.
talking about the ecosystems.
Well, imagine they have deals that they have to complete with all
Sure.
that. Imagine they sign multi-year, multi-year deals. that are
Exactly.
being,
Yeah, and I think
handled.
this is like a negotiating tactic too. If you put it on your back catalog, your stuff's out there, and if it comes to, like Star Trek on Netflix, when it comes time to renew this deal whenever it expires, CBS can come to them and go, "We'd like to take some more of your money, but we don't need to. How much of your money would you like to give us?"
Yeah, it's
And
give us
because
more because we don't need
Yeah.
you because we have our own thing.
we have our own thing. So I mean, yeah.
Speaking about taking money, I love the marketing machine with 23 weeks of Star Trek. Translation: 6 months of subscriptions.
Yeah.
Is really what that translates to. And something else that we've failed to talk. Something else we failed to talk about.
Hang on, before you leave that, it's not 23 consecutive weeks either. There will be
No,
mid-season breaks. So
Probably. So
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Please continue.
The other thing we failed to talk about is our friends across the pond. Which we'll get to talking about Lower Decks in this next segment. So, captains, while we move on to our next headline here, and we look forward to the premiere of Lower Decks on Thursday the 6th, if you haven't already subscribed to CBS All Access for those 23 weeks of Star Trek, maybe now's the time.
Non-consecutive.
Not consecutive. Perhaps now's the time. But if you do subscribe or resubscribe, please try to use our affiliate link. We'll be sharing that link on our social media pages and, of course, on our website. And your subscription to CBS All Access via our affiliate link and your subscription to CBS All Access using our affiliate link helps support Priority One Podcast. So thanks in advance.
23 weeks of Star Trek breaks down to what? An average of like 18 hours?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Actual real content.
Oh, I bet the animated show is like only 18 minutes long. That was probably less.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's half hour or less. Yeah.
Yeah, probably less. Who do you want reading the community question?
Tony, do you mind?
I'm doing the next bit. Maybe I'll give that to Kat.
Kat, can you...
Yes.
That was smooth.
This is the wrong answer. I asked him the question. He gave me the wrong answer, so I gently corrected him.
Tony, could you? Kat, could you? Make it so.
Delegation. All right. That leads us to our first community question this week. For those of you who will have the opportunity, how will you watch Thursday's premiere of Lower Decks? With friends via Zoom, by yourself with a bowl of popcorn and your favorite beverage? Let us know in the comments section for this episode at PriorityOnePodcast.com or by replying to our community question post on our social media channels like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Well, as Elio just mentioned, part of the problem with pre-recording a podcast is that inevitably, important talking points today may turn out to be old news by the time the show's out. That could be the case with our next story, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. On Monday, August 3rd, entertainment website Inverse published a sit-down with Star Trek Lower Decks showrunner Mike McMahon and star Tawny Newsome to discuss the upcoming series, set to debut on August 6th. The series, which takes place 1 year after the events of Star Trek Nemesis, would presumably have reference to the Star Trek of that area. Hang on a minute. The series, which takes place 1 year after the events of Star Trek Nemesis, would presumably refer to the Star Trek of... The series, which takes place 1 year after the events of Star Trek Nemesis, would presumably refer to the Star Trek events of that era. When McMahon and Newsome were asked about a possible Newsome-Mariner crossover to Star Trek Picard, McMahon dropped a fully Trekked nugget straight into the sauce. And yes, I read that exactly as written. Quote, "That's interesting because we do have legacy actors who show up in the first season of Lower Decks, and we have gotten to have a little bit of where they are now sort of vibe through Lower Decks lens." Try that last part again. "And we have gotten to have a little bit of where are they now? And we have gotten to have a little bit of a where are they now sort of vibe through a Lower Decks lens. But I gotta say, If anyone wants Mariner to show up on their live-action Star Treks, you've got to have Tawny. End quote. So now, the time paradox. This news... Hang on one second. Sorry, we had some audio interference there.
Cut it out.
Cut it out. So now the time paradox. This news on Friday, August the 7th may not be as great as it was on Tuesday, August the 4th, because on Thursday, August the 6th, one of those legacy actors may have already shown up, or maybe not, especially if you don't live in North America. At the time of this writing, there still hasn't been word on how international viewers will get to watch Trek's first comedy series. Are we calling this Trek's first comedy series? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I was going to take issue with that too, but that's
Why?
okay.
Yeah.
What other comedy series was there ever for Star? Like dedicated, strict comedy?
This is a strict comedy.
Is that what it is?
Is that what it is?
I'm pretty. I would imagine it's. Yeah.
I am pretty confident it is a strict comedy, but
Yeah.
No, intentional comedy.
Okay,
series. Good
we're
call,
just staking
Panda.
out this ground here. I'll keep going. On Friday, July 31st, tweeter at Notting Hill Nerd tweeted, quote, "The silence on an international/UK release date is deafening and somewhat worrying. Trek fans all over the world have supported the franchise for years. Even if we got a 'it's coming very soon' or something would help, as at the moment we feel left out as fans," end quote. To which showrunner McMahon replied, quote, "I wouldn't worry, slightly smiley face," end quote. So since last Friday, there hasn't been any further news, but there may be after August 4th, but before August 7th. Temporal mechanics gives me a headache.
I don't understand why they wouldn't announce this ASAP.
The deal's not done.
That's what, yeah. I
There's
agree.
some money on the table. I expect they're negotiate. I don't know.
That's
I
Really?
find it really hard to believe that they don't have a distribution deal in place already.
Already, right? It's August 4th, and they have not yet announced. But this is not exclusive just to Lower Decks. We had issues like this for Discovery, for Picard, where
Short Treks.
either Short Treks. Oh,
I'm
Short
pretty
Treks.
sure Short Trek Season 2 still isn't available internationally.
I'm almost certain of that as well. So, what are they doing, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, next to the UK, Germany is also a huge population of Star Trek fans, right? If you look at demographics from around the world. And yet, you know, you have a show coming out in a few days from the time of this recording, and our friends across the pond have no idea how or when or where they're going to watch it.
And let's be honest, if they can't get it from a legitimate source, they're going to find a way to get it by other means.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And, you know, there's another thing, too, well, we shouldn't forget. We're all on lockdown now, and people and distribution companies are getting creative. If CBS All Access really wants to get innovative, they would introduce an ability for you to be able to watch with friends, which you can do now through Amazon Prime. If you have a Prime Twitch account, you can do like a live stream of one of the shows that's already on Amazon. But for something like Netflix, you have to install a third-party plugin for Google Chrome called Netflix Watch Party, I believe, and other technologically crazy technobabble techniques in order for you to watch things with friends. So, yeah, there's room for growth here.
I think that this is one of those things where if you don't get the price you want, the price that you've decided internally that something is worth, you just don't sell it. This is the reserve auction price. So they've decided that a season of Star Trek, whatever that Star Trek is worth X. And if other people go, you know, we weren't so happy with the Discovery thing and we didn't miss the Short Treks at all, and you know, I just don't think it's worth it, then we don't want to pay that. CBS will take their ball and go home. Piracy aside, all that kind of stuff, they've decided that their original content is worth this much, and if you're not going to play ball, then they'll just take their ball and go home.
Mm-hmm.
They're shooting themselves in the foot.
No.
Because they need all the hype they can get around all the new Trek.
They don't think so. I mean, it's their anchor product.
Yep, exactly.
I'm not saying that's what they think. I'm just saying that's how it is. If they miss the boat on the release, then
CBS missed the boat?
they've blown
What?
it.
Never.
No, that never happened.
I'm just saying this is a negotiating strategy. Like, we have decided that this stuff is worth this much, and if you're not going to play, we don't need to play. We don't need you. And we'll see who's right about this or not. Probably, like I said, it will be pirated. But the idea of sticking to their guns on the price point is valuable in and of itself. And they're going to experiment with short treks, because really, if they miss out on one series and it's just that cartoon, this is a good experiment.
That's because they are banking on what they tell their shareholders the value was, and they have to stick to it. Otherwise,
Bing!
it's
Exactly.
not going to be good.
So
Exactly.
we can't overlook one of the other key points of this headline, which is the possibility of legacy actors returning for Lower Decks. I'm going to say right now, if they don't bring back Reginald Barkley, I'm going to be upset.
Oh, yeah,
He
he's
is-
got to be like in like one of the first episodes.
He is
Yeah,
perfect for
100%.
this. Perfect for this.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
100%.
It's like Lower Decks is his deal. Except
Yeah, I
He's
got
the
a-
original.
it wasn't.
I get another question. When other seasons of Star Trek premiered, other series of Star Trek premiered, CBS would broadcast the first episode on their terrestrial broadcast channels. Is that happening with the first episode of Lower Decks that we know of?
No, I
I've
don't
seen
think
it.
they've done that since Discovery.
Oh, they didn't do it for Picard? I thought they did it.
No.
Oh, they made Picard available for free, didn't they?
Yeah, on CBS.
That's
All
what they
Access.
did with that one.
Mhm.
Well, that brings us to our next community. Oh, do you guys have any legacy actors you think would also fit nicely with Lower Decks?
All of them.
I mean, a year after Nemesis?
Now they're going to run into the Titan.
Yeah.
Jonathan Frakes will be on it for sure.
Geordi.
I just think anybody who did comic relief on any of the series.
The Doctor seems like a fitting, like, anywhere.
Yeah.
definitely. Hologram Doctor, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine they're going to get as many of them as they can. I mean, it's going to be like the Orville, right? You know, Seth MacFarlane got as many Star Trek alums he could possibly cram in. It'll be the same thing.
Panda, no, Geordi was not in Picard. Maybe next season.
Well, that brings us to our next community question this week. Who do you think would be a good fit to return in animated form in Star Trek Lower Decks? Remember, let us know in the comments section for this episode at PriorityOnePodcast.com or by replying to our community question post on our social media channels like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Tom Paris would be fun.
Would be fun, but isn't Voyager, like, still lost at this point?
No, they'd be back because Admiral Janeway was consulted
Emily- and Nemesis.
in the movies.
Right, okay. Do you like t-shirts? Oh wait, I didn't even read that right. Do you like Trek t-shirts, subscriptions, exclusivity? Then Star Trek Lower Decks and animation production house and t-shirt company Titmouse have a deal for you. Behold the Lower Deckers shirt collective subscription. Announced on Friday, July 31st, the subscription service will feature 10 t-shirts, one for every episode of Lower Decks, designed by the team at Titmouse. For $180, residents of the United States and Canada will receive all 10 offerings, plus a free members-only 11th. If you aren't sure you want that many pieces of wearable Titmouse art, you can order one at a time for $20. But remember, you'll forfeit the member exclusive. Don't have the money now but want the shirts? Well, unfortunately, that may prove to be a problem. To quote the Titmouse website, quote, "When the new episode airs, the previous week's shirt style is gone. No more. Nuh-uh. Bye. Don't look back. The only way to go now is forward." End quote. In an interview with StarTrek.com to announce the subscription, Titmouse director Barry Kelly said of the design process, quote, "We try to find that little nugget of an idea that sparks a design. Could be a logo in the episode, could be an iconic shot, or just a random prop in the background. Hold on. Could be a logo in the episode, could be an iconic shot, or just a random prop in the background. Could make a funny and iconic shirt." End quote. For a link to the StarTrek.com announcement and Titmouse order page, check out our show notes.
No, thank you.
Yep, that's a pass.
I got enough t-shirts.
By this time in my life, I'm trying to get rid of T-shirts. I'm at that stage where I really can't wear this outside anymore, but I don't want to get rid of it because I like this old shirt.
I have a crate of band T-shirts, like all concert T-shirts. I have like a ton. I can make a quilt.
I'm pretty happy with my existing T-shirt.
That's a nice shirt.
Nice
Priority
shirt.
One
Stephanie.
podcast
Nice,
shirt.
nice shirt. So if you subscribe to it, the shirts end up being a little over $16, right? And so I don't know that.
It's reasonable.
It's
It's
not bad.
reasonable. It's reasonable. But man, to commit $180, that's where they get you. I like collecting T-shirts. I like to wear them with the blazer look, right? I got the signature. That's my priority one uniform.
Look, everyone knows him. Oh, that's Elio. That's Elijah from the Priority One show.
The biggest problem is we still don't know if we like this show.
Right.
You're committing
right,
$180 to something that you might not like.
Right.
Oh yeah, so yeah, you might be embarrassed. This might be like the T-shirts that you hide that you don't want people to know about. Like,
Right.
I went to that concert, but I'm not really proud of that.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, you.
I
It's
used to like
it's
that
my
band,
collection of Nickelback T-shirts. that I got.
Yeah, exactly.
It's trapped. Yikes.
Well, that wraps up this week in. Actually, go ahead, Tony.
Okay, because it says Tony. Well, captains, that's all the news we have to trek out this week. Now let's find out what happened in the world of Star Trek gaming.
Everybody.
You
hit
didn't want to
stop.
do the. Did you know?
No, we're already over almost 30 minutes. So.
Oh, okay.
So are we actually hitting stop?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we could.
Some people already did.
So I had stopped a long time ago. We're way past that now.
We'll have to either redo intro or cut that out.
Jamal Taylor, I have too many T-shirts as is, but it might be worth it just to resell the exclusive. That's not a bad idea.
Oh.
See,
How
there's
much? How much,
always a
Jamal?
way
How
to
much,
acquire
Jamal?
one.
How much, Jamal?
Always-
Jamal, I'll give you $50 right now. $50 for the exclusive. I'm kidding.
We all heard you.
That's true. It's on. It's on.
You sure that's a
record now.
binding deal? It's been
No
broadcast.
binding.
Under
No binding.
$500.
I said 50. I said 500.
No, she's
Under.
she's just saying, it's a statute of frauds thing.
Oh, I see.
No real estate involved. Doesn't last more than a year. Oral agreements are enforceable. Depending on your state law. Consult an attorney, licensed your jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Opinions given on Priority One podcast
Tal-
are good for education and entertainment purposes only.
Talria, I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. It says they're aiming for the same folks that love the subscription boxes, where it was a random thing inside.
That went
Honestly,
bankrupt? Yeah, Loot
Yeah,
Crate?
when-
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, the Star Trek one didn't work out, but they still send you ones, and I just got an Alien one. But I need
There's-
to cancel because
did,
I
like-
don't want them, but they keep charging me.
I did like 2 loot crates for different things, and like some of the things were cool inside. Like I was like, all right, okay, this is all right. I'll look a T-shirt that I can wear with my blazer. But yeah, no, not $180 for 11 T-shirts. No, thank you.
No.
You can bet if people like whatever that is so much, they will make it again.
Right. All right, you guys ready for gaming?
Mm-hmm.
Can do.
Sure.
I'm going to hit the big red button in 3, 2, 1. This is Elio Gaming Sync 1.
This is Cat Gaming Sync 2.
This is Tony Gaming Sync 3.
This is Skiffy Gaming Sync 4.
Gaming in 3, 2. I'll take it. Sorry. Quote, as preparations to toast the legendary James T. Kirk get underway, the personal effects gathered to help pay tribute begin to change or disappear. Can you determine what kind of temporal disturbance is causing this before Kirk himself vanishes? End quote. Captains, get ready to party like it's 2019, 2068, and 2404.
22.
Damn
You
it.
almost had it, but it's
I did,
2268,
damn
not
it.
2068.
Very close.
Captains, get ready to party like it's 2019, or 2268, or 2404. Because at the same time, all at the same time. All at the same time! From August 6th to the 10th, Star Trek Timelines is reprising its Legend Unwritten Galaxy event from March of last year for the Federation and Augment factions. This time around, the ranked reward will be the new 5-star EV suit to Paul. Last week's ranked reward crew, Technician Fisher, joins 5-star Captain Harry Kim, 4-star 1701 Jadzia, and 4-star Evil Kirk as the event crew. At least we're pretty sure it's Evil Kirk. None of them are wearing name tags. The official Star Trek Timelines Twitter account also announced the upcoming Enterprise Vacation campaign starting August 6th. Although details on the event remain scant, we do know it will feature Enterprise's Lieutenant Reed and Commander Tucker, as we saw in the episode 2 Days and 2 Nights. Probably not all of how much we saw them, though.
Hint, they weren't wearing pants by the end of the show. I'll go from there if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Star Trek may take place in an idealized future, but its gaming franchises continue to recognize the needs of the many today. Until August 19th, Humble Bundle and Modifius Entertainment are offering a Star Trek Adventures RPG book bundle in support of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. Purchasing the bundle at the top $15 tier unlocks the Federation Core Rulebook, expansions, pre-generated adventures, canon character sheets, and even a 50% discount off the Core Rulebook print edition. As of this writing, the bundle has raised $144,510.12 from 9,042 purchases, and I am one of them, and a couple of my real-life tabletop friends are at least 2 more of them. So
That's an awesome number for fundraising. That's cool.
That is out of this world.
it's par for the course for Star Trek fundraising, my friend.
It is. I mean, kudos
Answer the call.
Kudos to Modifius Entertainment for doing this. I mean, you know, these tabletop adventures definitely have a bit of a learning curve, right? I mean, it's not something that you can just easily pick up for most cases, and you may want to befriend somebody who is an experienced game master to help introduce you into the world of tabletop RPGs. But even let's just say that you can't foresee yourself playing in the near future because of COVID, right? These are generally games that are played around a single table. You know, if you watch Stranger Things, if you've ever seen anybody play D&D, you know, social distancing can impede the adventure. But for $15, you get all of this stuff, which is hundreds of dollars if you pay for them on their own.
Let me help you. Let me help you. Because I have these. This is the second time I purchased this bundle. I purchased a set for Priority 1 because we're going to maybe do something. We've done it once before in our anniversary live stream. Might do something in the near future again. But when you go through these things, if you like Star Trek, a big chunk of these books is vignettes, little scenes, letters, pad entries, dossiers, computer files, all set in the Star Trek world. They're just little hints and histories and snapshots of Romulan agents and Federation logistics officers, and just stuff that gets your that puts you in the world and expands on the fiction. So there's just the artwork is great. I mean, there's so much in these PDF files that just sinks you into Star Trek lore. So even if you don't wind up playing the game, there's a lot of stuff in here to just if anybody who's ever had the Star Trek technical manual will know what I'm talking about.
I love that thing.
Yeah.
I have it.
And the Deep Space Nine one, yeah.
Yeah. You just sit through and kind of page through it, right? You don't read it cover to cover. Just flip it open. Just flip through it on your computer and page through it.
I read it cover to cover.
Well, you can do that too. And there's just so many volumes.
So something caught me off guard here, and I don't mind addressing it live on air and whilst we're recording. But Star Trek Online is included in one of these bundles.
And one of their packs, yes.
As one of their packs.
Yes.
So Well then, that caught me off guard.
That's something. It's not a. It's there. It's the DS. I think it's the DS9 starter pack.
Yeah, it's the DS9 Uniform and Elite Services starter pack, and that's if you pay $8 or more, unlocks a bunch of the books. GM screen, I don't know what that is, and then in that $8 is the Star Trek Online DS9 uniform. So is this Star Trek Online's attempt to participate? Is that? But they didn't announce anything.
They didn't announce anything.
They're not advertising it or
No,
promoting
they're not.
it.
I didn't see it come across the tweeters or anything.
So did
But
they
it's there.
team up with Modifius? Is this, or did Modifius pay Star Trek? What is this?
Questions.
I think it's a step in the right direction.
It is a step
is
in the
a
right direction. Oh, do not get me wrong. Yes, this is a step in the right direction for them to do this. And, you know, Modifius is a smaller company, right? I'm surprised that they did this, being that it is a smaller company that, you know, may not generate the same amount of revenue that a company like Star Trek Online does. For them,
They partnered with them before, though.
They have partnered with them before, for sure. But I'm
Yeah.
talking about just like from consumer to producer, right? Like, how many people do you know purchase these Star Trek RPG books, right? It's not like a new phaser came out, everybody wants to buy it, right? So Modifius being a smaller company than I would presume than Cryptic Studios, I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know how to interpret this. I'm caught off guard, and I really don't know how to interpret. Like you said, Skiffy, it is certainly a step in the right direction, and it's worth investigating. Because look, guys, I would love nothing more than to start covering Star Trek Online again. I haven't logged in. I haven't played. I don't know any of the new House Divided episodes. I have not played. So I would love for nothing more than to put down this microphone, so to speak, and start covering Star Trek Online again. But why didn't Star Trek promote this? Star Trek Online promote this? I don't get it. Huh. Further investigation is to be had. Kat, would you read
Wait.
that?
Way back in episode 467, we let you know about an upcoming virtual scavenger hunt sponsored by Roddenberry Entertainment in partnership with Sansar. Well, Captains, the hunt has begun. Since July 28th, Sansar has been dropping regular clues to the mystery on its social media channels. The first clue was, "We're floating with excitement to start off the Roddenberry recovery mission." The next clue was, "We've got brews for you on the Skyway Avenue." Then came the clue, "You'll need to grab yourself a cup of mocha to..." Is that right? Then came the clue, "You'll need to grab yourself a cup of mocha to get energized." And after the weekend break, yesterday's clue was, "After finding this clue, you may need a shower. It sure is a sandy Sansar day." To track out every day's clue, just follow Sansar and Roddenberry Entertainment on Twitter. And to track down the missing items and maybe win an Oculus Rift S VR headset, among other prizes, head into the worlds of Sansar and follow the trail. You don't even need VR to play, thanks to a desktop-only PC client option. Good hunting, Captains.
Sorry.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
Wrong franchise.
Oh,
Oh,
whoops.
franchise.
Excuse me.
You know,
That would be the perfect place to hide props from Star Trek.
That would be this franchise, Skippy.
Ooh.
That would be this.
I'm doing a whole other franchise.
Oh, we're all out of uniform. I had the
know-
decency to cover mine up, though.
Hey, I'm like from here down, you couldn't tell.
Oh,
That's a nice guard frequency cap you're wearing there.
No, that's always on brand. That's always on brand, my friend.
So I know I've spoken about Sansar before, but just remember a few things. Sansar, although best experienced in VR with a VR headset and whatnot, can be played without a VR headset. You can just play it on your desktop. And
I got it.
yeah, I mean, it's free to play. You can download it. You can explore all these worlds. The Roddenberry Museum is absolutely stunning. I mean, these are props, original props that were 3D scanned, so you can virtually pick them up and, you know, look at all the angles, flip it upside down, everything you want to do in a museum, or if you were ever at a convention that, you know, had props on display that you couldn't touch. Yeah, no, you can, you know, digitally grab these and inspect them. It is a really great experience, even if it's just that you log in from time to time or you log in for these special events. And then on top of that, the community is also great. So captains, I encourage you to check this out and hit me up on social media if you want to log in together.
They have a recreation in partnership with Mission Log. They have a recreation of the original series bridge as well that's really cool that you can get to from the Roddenberry room.
Oh, cool.
It's very cool in VR.
I want to get that.
Kat, can you sweep us out?
That's all we have to cover this week in Star Trek gaming, and though... Wait a minute. Oh, I see what you did there. That's all we have to cover this week in Star Trek gaming, and though hailing frequencies are open, no transmissions were received this week. Sad.
Everybody hit stop.
That's the sweep out? You left it on a down note?
Yeah, this said no one wanted to talk to us.
Nobody wants to talk to us. So, you know, I'm just being honest, man.
I am sad.
The audio editors need to can put some sort of, like, you know, melancholy music underneath there.
Wah.
No, not the wah wah trumpet, but, you know, some, you know, just like, you know, sadness. Like,
Bum,
you know,
bum, ba-da.
Oh, shit.
you got that on your soundboard.
Now
Why
you
do you
know-
just
yeah,
play
no,
it
no,
through?
no, no, but that's what I was about to say. You know Skiffy's soundboard is all sorts of messed up when he has to vocalize. Bum, bum, ba-dum. Like,
First things patched everywhere. It's nuts. It's
This
crazy.
is terrible. First he lost the "what a dick" soundbite on his
That-
with his
that
Skoda
one
Crash,
hurts.
and
That one
now
hurts.
he can't play the Price is Right music.
The what a dickwood hurts because I know it's somewhere. I've looked for it. I know it's in Discord because I know I've linked it a few times. So I know if I could find it in Discord, I could pull the file back down, but I can't find it.
so to our sleuths right now that are watching live, our friends in the chat and whatnot, did you guys see anything about Star Trek Online being included in this Modifius pack? Like, did like, no joke. As I was scrolling to display it for everybody, as I've been doing the last couple of weeks, all of a sudden I scrolled down and I was like, Star Trek Online. Wait a minute, isn't this Modifius tabletop? What? And so, yeah, I'm so caught off guard by this.
Maybe they just were like, hey, do you guys want to give us any keys or whatever for this thing we're doing?
And the breakdown, because Humble Bundle, if you click on like the advanced settings, you have a breakdown of where you want your purchase amount to go. So if you pay the right amount, you can unlock the advanced settings, and there's like sliders that you can adjust to sort between Humble Bundle, Modifius, and the NAACP. And you can adjust those levels to where you want it to go, a third, or whatever. Cryptic's not on that list. It's not like Cryptic got any money out of this. They didn't get any. They weren't directly compensated. Maybe Modifius is compensating them somehow, or Humble Bundle is, but I kind of doubt it. It's not usually how this sort of thing works. So, seems like a contribution.
Look, I'm gonna get it right now.
Seems like a contribution.
Get the bundle.
Well, we're gonna have to have a talk after this show. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did this subtly on purpose, right? Because look, I'm not saying
01.
do what happened?
I said I'm donating 1701.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there you go.
$1,701. Wow.
Wow,
I wish.
that's-
Yeah,
Good
check
for
me
you.
out.
Wow. Money bags over here.
Move the needle, definitely.
So,
Move that needle.
you know, there's I really just.
You're torn.
I am. I'm torn. I could see why they wouldn't want to promote this, right? I could see why Star Trek Online didn't go, hey, but you see, I don't see why they wouldn't even promote Modifius, though. right? Like they've done
because they
stuff
partnered with them
Modifius.
before. I mean,
Right,
you know,
they've partnered with
they've
them. So
the
my
Sally
only-
Ride. The Sally Ride was a product of that Shield of Tomorrow show, which was them running Star Trek Adventures.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, you know, there's been some decent overlap.
Right.
between
So
them.
why not push this, right? Like, why not say,
don't know.
hey, like, how long is this? Oh, this is on for 14 days, right? So
Yeah,
I mean,
there's still time.
Maybe they're just gonna post it. Sometimes they lag in the, stuff's available, and then they decide to, oh, hey, by the way, there's this thing we're doing.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's weird.
Um,
Like, I wonder if they were doing it like they didn't want to make a big deal about it because they didn't want to be like, they didn't want the certain group of players that are meh about it. See, that bothers me though too a little bit. But I'm not gonna lie, that if they're afraid
Yeah.
of ruffling the feathers of people who would be upset that money was going to the NAACP, like that would bother me a little bit. But at the same token, I'm wondering if they went under the radar purposely because, to some degree, we gave them bad press. You know,
no, this is it's not about the bad press. This is us. We told our friends we expect better of you, and this is a start.
yeah.
A further step would be publicly announcing their support for Modifius's and Humble Bundle's fundraising.
Right.
A tweet would be nice. A tweet would be nice. Okay, everybody, get your
SFC
DS9 uniform and
points
starter
out-
pack.
He points out in the chat that, to be fair, Cryptic didn't even promote the free ship codes you can get from Modifius on their own site for buying their own PDF pass.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know they announce all this stuff all the time, but it'd be nice if.
But I'm wondering if, like, okay, you know how sometimes we get codes or, you know, all these.
That's where I was going. Yep.
Yeah.
Like, did
This is like-
Modifius already have these in their back
Right,
pocket?
like
and
it's
they
a
just
stack
threw
of
them in
stuff.
there?
Like, yeah, it's like a stack of stuff that they have. That seems like a fairly likely thing to me. Like it's part of the cross promotion deal or a cross licensing deal.
That's what it seems
Like,
like to me. Too.
Well,
Like-
and Cryptic also gives out piles of codes to various gaming journalism sites whenever they launch a new season, expansion pack, whatever, and they don't necessarily promote that on their main site. They leave that up to the
It-
recipients.
It very well could be that this is a contractual obligation of a licensor situation where we're going to do some cross promotions. You know, you licensees help out. You cross promote those things. So, or it could be something that's left over from the Sally Ride deal. Some promotional consideration was paid to Star Trek Online to put that in there. Oh, and this is part of the compensation somehow. So, I mean, it's a step in the right direction, but maybe it wasn't their step. Maybe they didn't take the
Right.
step. Maybe the step was taken for them.
All right.
We'll have to see.
Let's do closing.
Okay.
I'm going to hit the big red button in 3, 2, 1. This is Elio closing sync 1.
This is Cat closing sync 2.
This is Tony closing sync 3.
This is Skivvy closing sync 4.
All right, closing in 3, 2. Well, that wraps up episode 472 of Priority 1, a Roddenberry Star Trek podcast. But there are more great shows available to you on the Roddenberry Podcast Network. But there are more great shows available to you on the Roddenberry Podcast Network. Just visit podcasts.roddenberry.com for a complete list. Then be sure to subscribe to them all and share them with your friends.
Sorry. But we can't forget to send a special thanks to some of our Patreon supporters like David K. Rutley and Peter Archibald.
And here's a reminder of our community questions for this week. First up, for those of you who will have the opportunity, how will you watch Thursday's premiere of Lower Decks? With friends via Zoom, by yourself with a bowl of popcorn and your favorite beverage? And also, who do you think would be a great fit to return in animated form in Star Trek Lower Decks?
Captains, it's important to us to get your voice heard and that you participate in the conversation. Leave us a comment on our website at priority1podcast.com, on our Facebook page at facebook.com/priority1podcast, or find us on Twitter and Instagram at priority1pod. We make it so easy. You can write to us. Please do. We miss you.
You can even leave us a voicemail. We have all the just, you know what? Do a voice memo and email it to us, incoming@priority1podcast.com. You can do that. We can include your voice on the show. Heck, send it to us as a video. We'll pull the audio. Or play it during the live stream. We can do that. We have the power. We have the technology. Thanks to our patrons.
When Skiffy fixes audio board.
And if you're still craving more, be sure to spend time with Winters, Anthony, me, plus the rest of the Priority One Armada. Saturday nights, the Armada broadcasts live to review the latest news from Star Trek Online and the Armada community, including spotlighting some of our amazing members. With regular giveaways, there's something for all Star Trek Online players, whether you're new or a veteran. So follow us on all our social media accounts for broadcast times, and if you'd like to join the Armada, visit PriorityOneArmada.com.
Is it me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This episode of Priority One is brought to you by our patrons through Patreon.com. Now, during these difficult times, we are humbled by the continued support of our patrons who find value in the content we produce each and every week. Thank you so very much, and patrons, do not forget to check your messages and update your addresses through Patreon, because we'd like to send you a small token of our appreciation. We'd like to send you a gift as a small token of our appreciation for sticking with us as patrons throughout this pandemic.
And don't forget to tune in to Priority One Productions' Guard Frequency podcast at guardfrequency.com. Each episode, the Guard will take you inside the universe of your favorite space sims, including a tabletop adventure played out by your hosts. And Heroes Rise brings you up to date with the world of Dungeons and Dragons. Learn all about the latest publications, tools, tips, tricks, and traps in less time than it takes to skin a wyvern. Head over to heroesrisepodcast.com to discover their secrets.
Thanks to our audio editors, including Gray, Brandon, William, Rand, Daniel, Roscoe, and Skiffy. And a special congratulations to Rand on his recent bundle of joy that was just delivered.
Oh, congratulations, dude.
Yay!
Aw.
Thanks to our producer, Jake Morgan, and associate producer, Shane Hoover, with support from Thomas of the Priority One Armada. Together, they help organize and write up our summary of the weekly headlines from the Star Trek multiverse. Thanks to our social media manager, Anthony Cox. Thanks to our graphic artist, Henry Pumper, with support from Jason Smith of the Priority One Armada. Jason, I see you with the Lower Deck style artworks. I'm hoping maybe we'll see ourselves in that style one day. Thanks to the composer of our theme music, Chris Watts. But most importantly, a big thanks to you, the Star Trek community, our listeners, because without your ongoing support, none of this would be possible. Everybody hit stop. And save. Oh no, have I been exporting in 96?
That's okay. Since our final export's 96, it isn't that big of a deal.
Skiffy, can you check the folders before? Can you check the files? Do you have them local? Well, anyway,
I
we'll
have.
do that after when we're off the air. All right, captains. Thank you. Oh, Skiffy, I was like, what the heck is that massive paragraph you wrote in?
That was me explaining why I'm having audio issues.
So a big shout out and a big thank you to everybody who joined us live on this episode of Priority One Podcast. We hope you enjoyed your time with us on this Tuesday evening. We'll be back next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern with the next week's recap of the news. We should rename our show to Star Trek Last Week Tonight.
Yes, yes, because that's definitely what we ought to do,
That's
for
what
sure.
happens. All right,
Leo,
captains.
I'm showing you at
Not
192.
derivative at all.
Not derivative
No.
at all.
I'm
All
showing you
right.
at 192.44.1. You're good.
Yeah. All right. For all the files.
Well, I only checked intro.
All right.
I assumed if the first one was good.
Oh, I think I've been doing 128. Am I
It's
fired?
supposed to be 128. No, it's supposed to be 128.
Oh, okay.
Mine was
It's
good.
128 or better is fine.
Okay.
All right, captains. We will see you next week. We're off now to record after hours for our patrons. We are going through the animated series with special guest host Dr. Robert Hurt. So if you're interested in that, if you've never gone through the animated series and want to do it with a group of friends, then consider becoming a patron. It's just $10 a month, and you get 4 bonus episodes of Priority One podcast.
Now,
Titled
you see the animated series, you're not talking about Lower
I am
Decks.
not talking about Lower Decks. No.
TAS,
TAS.
not LDS.
Yes.
A little too
Lower
much
Decks.
LDS back in the 60s.
It checks out.
All right, captains. Until next week, say good night, everybody.
Night.
All right.
Command codes verified. Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.